Hey, every time you see this self-driving car fuck up, you gotta give bits, okay? That's how this works for this hype trade. Because I want to watch this video, so we're gonna watch it. I'm sorry. I'm like so intrigued. Um, okay. This woman is also super salty that this video is posted, which I think makes it even better. Who's defending gulags? Just tankies. They were like telling someone who was put in a gulag at age 16 that she must have been put in because she was a capitalist, even though she identified as a communist. And they put her in the gulag because she had the wrong literature, which is like if you are sitting, you know, in your house in 2021, comfortable streaming on Switch, I don't think you get to tell someone who was literally imprisoned at age 16 for thinking incorrectly that they should go back to prison. Not very left wing of you, in my opinion. I think that defending prisons is cringe. Oh, thank you for gifting the Limitless. Yeah, not very kosher. Not loving that. Gotta say, not loving that. Kind of cringe, not based. Okay, let's do this though. Did you see that? I tried to make her go. So every time you hear that bum bum, it's like her switching into manual. If she hadn't switched over, she would have gotten hit. Thank you for the 500 bits, Jayhawker. Come on, it's just a church. Hit the church, lady. Oh, quiet one. Thank you for gifting to Chester. And what a base name. DC statehood now. Absolutely. This is pretty. She's got a slam. It started turning her car. It started turning her fucking car right into another car. Let's just watch this again. Elon made a bad product. Shocking. That stuff makes me not want to get a Tesla. Yeah, this is pretty horrifying. They're also like death traps. They have horrible safety ratings. Um like I understand that parts of the cars benefit the environment, but like I mean, I think that you should value your own life a little more, than the small tiny benefit that you will be putting on the environment by buying a Tesla. There's so many other things that are actually causing major harm to the environment that can be protested against and fought against. The impact of you buying a Tesla personally, not gonna make a huge difference on climate catastrophe. Elon Musk should just be the name of a cheap cologne. Also, a person who like makes rockets talking about how he wants to save the environment is a little rich to me. Nothing about Teslas are good. If you want a deep, TrueAnon has a good 3-part. Ooh, interesting. Hi, Pink Floyd. I like your name. It's like iPhone for cars. Yeah. See that? It once again tried to get her to turn into traffic. That's horrifying. Hey, Dmash, this bit right here. I've watched it like 6 times now. Imagine you are just like vibing in your Tesla, put it on autopilot or whatever it's called, monorail or whatever. You're like doing whatever you're doing, not really paying attention. Boom, you're dead. Boom, you're dead or someone else is dead. These things are death traps. Properly regulating the industries that make the things we buy would have more of a yes, exactly. Yes. She is a beta tester these cars have not been fully released yet, but they're still on the road. They are doing beta tests of these cars all over the country. Beta. Oop. Oop. Nearly got my existence snuffed out. Okay, here is some people on a track. And they're showing here how the Tesla system registers objects. Suck. Beta cars. Beta. As you should be, Spantana. I just am way too sketched out by going full digital interface. I saw Smart House. Smart House. I was literally just talking about that movie the other day. Who else is a millennial, late millennial, early Zoomer who watched Smart House on Disney Channel? That shit was like freaked me the fuck out about technology. Millennials rising. Yeah, that shit. Thank you so much for the hype train, everyone, by the way. But I think about Smart House all the time. That film is so fantastic. I haven't seen Smart House. You should definitely check it out. It was like late 90s, early 2000s movie about like an AI house that has like an interface that has like a projection. And she is supposed to be like, she takes over the role of mom and starts locking them down, and it's very interesting. Like, I like that movie. Smart House is Elon's wet dream, honestly. Scared me to this day. Honestly, Elon would like that because then he could have a wife that couldn't file allegations in court about his abuse. I didn't say that. Definitely check out Smart House. There's some fantastic Disney movies in that era. Smart House, The 13th Year, where the kid becomes a mermaid. Hey, I said allegations. The 13th Year, Luck of the Irish, where the kid becomes a leprechaun. I think oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate that. Pixel Perfect. Oh my God, Pixel Perfect. Yes. Tony, thank you for the follow. Xenon! Oh, yes, Xenon. Hell yes, Xenon. It's just not registering any of the cones. And then this person also posted a video. This video is labeled as a success. I want you all to know that Tesla thinks that this is a success. Rank Halloween Town is great. Hey, the Lizzie McGuire movie. Oh. Oh yeah, we should do that, Jay, for sure. Lizzie McGuire movie, fantastic. There's another movie that I couldn't remember the name of. Shit. Well, it'll come. Oh, no, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Confessions of it. That's not a Disney movie, but that movie is fantastic. Hocus Pocus is great. Love Hocus Pocus. So many people have died in Tesla's open beta. So just like, okay, this bit right here that you're about to watch, insanely fucked. Right here. Emperor's New Groove. It did what? Almost drove right into a post? It did it? Hey, OG Prodigy. They think, I shit you not, they posted this video saying that it's a success. Watch the screen this time. Don't watch the post. Watch the screen this time. Yeah, the pylon. And it's still not registering the pylons. Look at that. It doesn't pick them up. As you study AI and machine learning, that's interesting. What do you think of this? I mean, I wouldn't feel safe as a driver if this car is trying to figure out that there's a pylon there while I'm driving next to it. It also can't figure out that these are bikes and it's trying to like reroute around the bikes. Oh, thank you so much for gifting to OG Prodigy. I've seen drunk people drive better than this. Hold on one sec. I gotta adjust my screen a little bit so I can see more. That was so dope. I can't believe it didn't kill us. Oh my god, that was so dope. I am losing my mind. I'm literally losing my mind at how bad it is. Okay, we'll go back to here. And this is labeled a success. Just keep in mind that this is what they consider to be a success. I'm losing my mind right now. That was so dope. That was so dope. Was it? See, personally, when I drive, I don't have to worry about whether my car is going to hit the pylon because I know where it is. I trust myself. But what I don't like is that these people, it's not like, this beta testing isn't happening in controlled environments because to some extent, of course, you can't do it just in controlled environments. You have to know how it works on the road. But I don't want to drive the road with these people. I don't want this car on the road trying to figure out whether or not I'm a car. I want you to look with your eyes and register that I am a human being driving a vehicle. Oh, Kodiak Draco, thank you so much for the 1,000 biddies. Such a beta car, literally. No, it's not ready to be beta tested. That's what's getting to me. Seems like the car was aiming for the pillar. Jesus, no way I am getting into one of them. Yeah, no. Does Tesla not see it's a solid white line? It's not picking up the lines. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Did it almost hit some people? Yeah, I'm going to show some other clips. This is insane. This one is, they call this a success, which blows my mind. Here, I'll go back so you folks can see the other videos we were watching. This is the first one. Okay. Every time you hear it go ding ding, that means that she is engaging so that she is in control of the car because it's fucking up. Metal Kitty Mama, thank you so much for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. You're so sweet. Jesus, take the wheel because my Tesla can't. And the funniest thing is like everyone is trying to say these are successes. This is working. Like Elon is a god. Would have driven right into that car. Would have literally driven right into that car and T-boned her. Yeah, a Roomba is literally more precise. Elon is a god, all right. God of chaos. Got the chaos the apartheid emeralds, like Dr. Eggman. Evidently, there's a lot of Tesla fanboys defending him in every chat today. Why? These people almost get in car accidents and people are still defending that? The AI can accurately identify a human 100% of the time. The AI intentionally targets humans and has learned to lie about it. Wait, what? They're working on the bugs one wreck at a time. Just bodies piling up. We're working out the kinks, buddy. We're working out the kinks. Thank you, Poe the freaking Rican dragon. I needed to stretch. Like, Elon, would you like to comment on the dead test pilots? Well, we're working out the kinks. It's imperfect. The other thing they do is they deflect and blame the fact that not everyone is driving a self-driving car. Like, okay, well then fix all the bugs and give them to everyone for free. Because otherwise this will never work. It'll never work. I mean, get Swifty, here's my thing. I don't like Elon as a person. I don't like what he does. I don't like his workplace practices. And I'm not a Luddite. I'm very, pro-innovation. I want safe innovation. It's not going to drive right into the middle of traffic, I mean, people have died in Teslas. The safety rating on them is abysmal. The problem with driverless cars is the fact that it is privately owned. Yes. I hate the fact that Elon is using the name of one of the most brilliant minds in history for branding and profit. I'm surprised he's even able to. Like, you'd think that they would have, I guess it's hard to, like, get a copyright on a name. But hey, Christina. I don't want my kids driving with these death traps on the road. Someone in the replies to this was like, oh, but you're cool driving on the road with 16-year-olds. I'm like, yeah, because 16-year-olds had to take a test and they learned how to drive. Yeah, because 16-year-olds can physically see me with their eyes. Yeah, I feel much safer driving on the road with 16-year-olds than a glitching out fucking beta test of a vehicle that is not safe. I'm dying in a car. It's going to be the old-fashioned way, human error. Did Elon do a hostile takeover of Tesla? Oh, I have no idea about that. Oh, hey, Antrim, you've been here. Happy Thorsty Thursday. Because a 16-year-old's still better than some still in development AI system, yeah. Trouble with the FSD system is that since the radar has been discontinued, the cars only see in 2D. Oh, why was it discontinued? Because that's what these people are saying in these videos, that the last one worked better, that this one is not working very well. This one's really bad. Would have just been a horrible accident. It would have been a horrible accident. What's your vaping? Calliope Dragon. I have a watermelon. Are these Puff or Plus? I don't remember. Yeah, it's the AI technology that people are criticizing. But Teslas also don't have a wonderful safety rating. So like if you're not getting in an accident, wouldn't notice that. But like some of them have only electric doors. So when cars have gotten into accidents and set on fire, the drivers, I think there was at least one case of someone burning alive in their car because they couldn't get out. And it's really hard to pry those doors open. So makes you want to avoid Teslas on the road. Yeah. I mean, I don't see a lot of them. I don't really drive much, so. Going into space through the windshield. No. Cool. Roasted humans. They have emergency handles inside. Okay. But there was definitely someone who burned alive inside their Tesla. If someone has that news article, I remember very clearly that article. This one is bad. Every time you hear it go ding ding, that's her disengaging the I said this before, but I'll reiterate it. That's her disengaging the hey, Cole James Cash, thank you so much for following. Cole James Cash is actually going to come on Fridays starting next week and DJ, which is super fun. Maybe that's why Tesla stopped in front of my house when I was mowing the lawn. Yeah, there's another video I'll show after this where it just keeps stopping at like random intervals. People just don't know how they work. Education sucks. I mean, it should be intuitive, no? Of course, it should be intuitive. Also, don't forget to check out Cole James Cash Show on YouTube. What if you're not conscious to engage the emergency handle inside the car? It does, but see, people are dumb, but they shouldn't die because they're dumb. Like, it should be intuitive. Like, you shouldn't have to read the owner's manual to figure out how to open your door. Like, that's important to me personally, you know? I don't want people to die because they just didn't understand it. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Also, someone sent the article. Tesla driver burnt to death in car because futuristic doors wouldn't open, prosecutors say. Yeah. It wasn't the crash that killed him. It was the car's futuristic design features. The last few moments of his life were gruesome and excruciating. The lithium-ion battery caught fire. Smoke and then flames filled the car, suffocating him and burning him from his feet up. Outside, a crowd gathered but couldn't help. That's because the car's retractable door handles, which are supposed to auto-present when they detect key fob nearby, malfunctioned, and first responders weren't able to open the doors and save his life. Like, I'm all for progress, and I am all for, innovation. But this is not. It has to be safe. It has to be intuitive. It has to be reasonable. You know? Studying AI and ML, I'm fully on board with self-driving cars. Just like we trust the numbers about the vaccines, we should trust the number of how self-driving cars are safer. What are the numbers on that? Oh, Jesus Christ. But are these just people who were driving Teslas when it happened? Tesla crashes into tree and ignites on fire? That's sus to me. Yes, this also counts the people who were hit by the Teslas. And redundant, there has to fail-proof options. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, in my opinion, it has to have things that even if it malfunctions, there's still a workaround so that it is still safe. That's important to me. And I mean, vehicles are in and of themselves imperfect, but, there's a relatively high amount of regulation around vehicles. And at the end of the day, the way that our judicial system is set up, if it's less expensive for Tesla to pay out wrongful death suits than it is for them to fix the problem, like, they have no legal obligation to fix the problem. And that's insanely fucked up. That's insanely fucked up. Humans killed over 36,000 people with old-fashioned driving in 2019. Well, I mean, that number, compare it to the number of Tesla deaths is what I would need to see. Because just that number, I don't think there's even that many Teslas on the road. So, like, there's a lot of drivers on the road. AI is not yet as aware and perceptive as we are. I mean, and I'm not against the concept of self-driving cars. Tesla updates autopilot safety numbers, almost 9 times safer. There are caveats, of course. Autopilot is primarily used on highways, which have fewer accidents than surface streets because driving conditions are much simpler. And Teslas are generally newer cars, which are also less likely to be involved in accidents than the overall vehicle fleet, which includes old cars without modern active and passive safety features. Tesla's previous updates have included accident data for Teslas using autopilot, for Teslas with autopilot turned off, but active safety features on, and for Tesla with no active safety features activated. Tesla did not update the statistics on Tesla accidents without safety features engaged. Okay. This is still from 2019. These cars makes me feel like I'm driving a horse and buggy with a stick. Tesla sounds like it's expensive for people to kill someone as an accident instead of just injuring them greatly. If they're injured and don't die, the victim gets medical bills paid for the, yeah. There are a non-zero number of people driving a Tesla to a school board meeting complaining about masks. There should be a button away from the door from the battery. Like, I don't want people to be able to live an hour away from work and just work on the way to work because their car's driving itself. Autopilot may eventually be safer, but AI is hyper complex and takes a long time to become viable. Cold James Cash. Amount of women pulled while driving swagless Tesla equals 0. Most, if not all, automakers are guilty of horrible safety versus profit calculations. Oh, yes. Horrendous. But at the same time, I think that all automotive industries should be more regulated than they are. And I think that we need to get rid of the cost benefit analysis that goes into whether or not a car manufacturer should fix a problem that it knows they have. Because they'll just sit there and do the math, you know? They'll literally run the numbers and say, they'll just, you know, run the numbers and say, okay, well, we estimate that this many people will die because of this problem. Yeah, the Ford Pinto, exactly. We expect this many people to die, and death. A human being is worth about $60,000. So we'll have to pay out about, you know, however much money, that times how many people we project will die in the accident. And if it's less than it would cost to fix the problem, they won't be held liable. Not just like not held liable, like they have to do the payouts, like no liability at all. Like there won't be payouts. That's how fucked up this is. Thank you, learned hand, and your fucked up. It's called the hand formula. My brother's auto drive is mostly useless when he comes to the city anyway because it relies on GPS, which will conk out, particularly around Lower Wacker. Yeah, especially in the loop. AI is one of the hardest things to work on. LOL, I don't know what that dude's talking about. The limited liability in this case is one downside to corporations not being people. Yeah. We are talking about Chicago again, always. The Volkswagen thing, lawsuits will be cheaper than fixing the problem with recall. Yeah, and then they don't have to pay out. I have no idea about that. I mean, even if it doesn't use GPS, like, it's not even registering these cones. Like, just watch the screen on here. This is the most recent update. It's not even registering these cones. Ooh, now it's got two of them. But I mean, like, even if it's cherry picking, here's the difference. People will see them. Your human eyes can see those cones. And if you are fully relying on, but that's the thing, the distance shouldn't matter because you're driving towards them. Like, you're gonna get close to them. I want the car to see them, you know? They've also gotten away with this blatant incompetence. What cones? I don't see any cones. Eyes can only see if you are looking at it, not distracted. That's true. But, you know, if these cones were kids, a person may not see all the kids in your blind spot, but you are aware that they are there somewhere and watch out. Yeah. And yet we still drive right over them. Who's driving over cones here? While driving a Tesla, you should wear a cone on your head. I mean, one, they're insanely expensive. Like, I mean, I don't really foresee too many of us having a Tesla. It's always why your hands are supposed to be on the wheel, even when self-driving is active. Yeah, but I mean, the thing with this system is it'll start to move the car. So it'll start to move you into the oncoming traffic because you won't realize the mistake it's making until it's making it. So there's still a reaction time that needs to be there. So even if you might think that the car, oh, thanks so much for the 500 biddies. You might think that the car is not going to move and then it starts to go. So it's like, it's going to happen if my cats are outside playing. I agree. This is a level 3 ADS and can self-drive on freeways. As the technology improves to a level 4 and 5 ADS, the car will see them. Okay. See, but here's my issue then is that it's being marketed as, you know, not just for highway driving. You know, they're testing these in city conditions in towns, and that's what's concerning to me. I don't doubt that these will successfully drive on the highway. I don't doubt that. You know, except for in the case of some sort of, you know, I don't know, some sort of extreme, an animal runs onto the highway or someone loses a tire. But, you know, and even that's difficult to dodge when you're manually driving a car. Modeled after the regular cars, the child safety lock will trap a child/backseat passenger inside the car if they were in a fire. They didn't think it was important. Jesus. I think that's kind of important. My friend has had several Teslas. They are pretty nice when they work, but he doesn't trust the autopilot. Oh, nice. Sorry. Wait, did that happen? Just Peachy? Okay, there is another video. One more I wanted to show. Just, this is this vehicle driving in, like, city conditions. Excuse me. Oh my God. I mean, here's why I care, Avenger Dragon. Because Tesla is a capitalist, you know, venture, right? If they think that they can get these out on the road and into stores and into people's driveways as fast as they can, they're going to do it. Even if it's not completely safe. That's why it matters to me. Because they will, I promise, there's not much regulation around autopilot, and that's not been highly regulated yet in the same way that other aspects of the automotive industry have been. So they won't have a heavily subsidized capitalist venture. Exactly. So they're testing it, but if they think that it's safe enough, they'll put it out there and people will be driving them on the streets. And I don't like the idea of people acting as test drivers in situations where they could run over a child, another person, they could get in an accident. Hey, keep your ass home. And I mean, I don't trust this company, right? I don't trust this company to get to the standard it needs to be at. Hey, KF Logan. Why is AI not regulated? I mean, it has to be passed through legislation or through administrative law, and it's difficult. What you're talking about are edge cases, and AI can't accommodate all those, like animals and random tires coming off. We need common sense for that. What AI will do is save lives because it doesn't lose focus, drive drunk, have blind spots. Humans will be better. Yeah, and I agree with that. But the issue is the marketing, right? Because it's not being marketed as assistance. It's being marketed as self-driving. And there's going to be a lot of lobbying to not pass this regulation. There's going to be so much lobbying to not put forward legislation and regulation on these companies, right? So, like, when it comes to that, they're going to have to wait until something horrible happens and then pass legislation after that. And I just don't want that horrible thing to happen, or those horrible things to happen, to pass the legislation and get these and have administrative agencies regulating AI, especially when it's already being marketed as self-driving. It's being marketed that way, and people are going to buy it and they're going to treat it that way. So it's a matter of both. One, it's twofold, right? One, educating people on the fact that it's not self-driving, it's assistance, which I'm all for. There's lots of cars that have driving assistance, which is good. Tesla driver jailed for sitting in back seat. At this stage, the Tesla autopilot is not even as reliable as aircraft autopilot systems, and there's a lot more room for error in the air. As a flight instructor, I can tell you that even 20,000-hour pilots are mandated to monitor the autopilot at all times. The general public will not do it. Yeah. It has to come down to the stats. But the thing is, when it has to come down to the stats, that means it has to be retroactive, which concerns me. Because this country is not great at, one, even passing regulation, enforcing regulation, and, holding companies accountable. So that's my concern, I suppose. Can't arrest me for drunk driving if I'm in the back seat. Be smart. I wonder how people think drones work. But yeah, I think that if it was like more, OSHA is garbage. OSHA has strange limitations. Siri can't even have my predictive text function correct. AI, good gravy. I'll pass until Siri can learn that really did mean of, not off, every flipping time. But objectively, there are fewer accidents per Tesla than there are in other brands or assisted driving. I mean, yeah, but let's look at, right? There's less Teslas on the street, and I understand that you're saying per Tesla. But newer cars, like they said in the article, are less likely to get in accidents. The people driving Teslas are not particularly the demographics of drivers that are more likely to have accidents. I mean, the thing is, Swifty, I don't have an issue with the concept of AI. My issue is not with the concept of AI. It's just the fact that I know that companies like this are not putting these vehicles out and, they're not getting to some maximum safety standard. It will be the absolute minimum that they need to push them out on the public so they can make money. It's about AI done right. That's just how I feel about it. Very animal. And Stanley, I don't know too much about AI, but that's what my friends who are into AI have. Oh, Swifty, thank you so much for the 5 subs. You're a sweetheart. And I that's what my friends who are in, engineering, I have a couple friends who work in AI that have been saying that, like, it's not weed, no. That have been saying, like, ideally self-driving cars need to be around like all other self-driving cars to properly function in a city environment. On the highway it's more predictable. So it's not so you don't have to worry so much. You can pretty much predict that, going to be moving in a straight line for most of the drive versus like in the city, there's lots of, I don't want to call them obstacles, but and I'm glad they're testing them, but even the tests are concerning me. Oh, what is this? I get you, Swifty. I get you. It like drives her right through a red light in a little bit. I just want to play that and then we can stop talking about Tesla. Yeah, also, like, if we are talking about environmental concerns, we need to focus on public transportation that's accessible to all because Teslas are not accessible to everyone by any stretch of the imagination. So, like, if we are, oh, Kenny from Philly, thank you so much for subbing. As long as people aren't kidding her, yeah. Yes, we need high speed rails. That is a must have. And the fact that we don't have them yet is I can't. I mean, I understand why because of the massive lobbying power of the automotive industry. Live in Chicago. We need to focus on revamping the L. We do, and I am grateful to have such a. Chicago it has a robust public transportation network for the most part. It is absolutely lacking on the south and west sides. But if you are in, on the north side or just slightly south of the loop, you could get wherever you want to go. But there is, a massive, massive lack of transportation in communities that desperately need it.